welcome to 4 Minutes Closer to God. My name is Doug. Today I wanted to discuss the fall, and as opposed to spring, summer, and fall, this is Adam and Eve's disobedience in the garden against God. And so what happened? What are the consequences that resound to us today? And how can we learn things from that would draw us closer to God in a way that they had taken us farther away from God? And so Adam and Eve, created perfect, put into a garden space, given the charge to tend and keep it, to be good stewards of the land. They were doing fine. We don't know for how long exactly. But one day, this Nachash, the serpent, a shiny kind of serpent-like creature that was most likely angelic or fallen angelic form and not an actual part of the created realm, tempted Eve, and she was asked, has God said that you may not eat of any of the trees or the fruit of the trees of the garden, any of them? She said, oh no, we can eat all the trees, the fruit of those trees, but we can't eat the fruit of the tree in the midst of the garden. We can't even touch it. And so he convinced her that it would be appealing. It's appealing as good food. It was appealing to the eye. It looked good. And it was desirable to make one wise. And so the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, in some sense, is a hendiades. That is 1 through 2, meaning it's using these two words to convey one idea, and that idea is the knowledge of good and evil, kind of brackets all knowledge available. And so instead of becoming wise by way of growing in their stewardship, learning about creation, they chose to jumpstart the process and move right into wisdom unearned. And in doing so, they lost their connection with God. And so this was broken, shattered in their disobedience. And in that disobedience, then they were cut off from everything that was important to them. So in the fall, they lost their spiritual or vertical connection with God. They no longer had that deep intimacy that was broken. Secondly, they lost the connection with each other. So as God says, hey, what are you doing? Why are you wearing fig leaves? Said, well, he's, blaming each other. So Eve blamed the serpent for their having sinned. Adam blamed Eve and God. And from there we get this retribution going that continues into this day, that people will blame one another for their own problems. And this has resounded in concentric circles throughout history. The idea is that Adam and Eve were closed off from each other. They were closed off from nature. They lost that connection there as part of the stewardship, and they were closed off from themselves. So the interior perfection that they had experienced was lost. And so they were like a closed fist instead of being an open hand that God had intended them to be in serving creation.